All right, good morning. So before you ask, I'm going to run down the injuries for you for today. That way I don't have to go through every single one of them. And if it saves a lot of questions. So let's start D-line, Tim Jernigan. He's doing better, obviously day to day, and we'll evaluate him today and see where he's at. You know about Corey, Josh, Jalen. We always made those decisions to put them down. Avonte Maddox is improving. Again, he's day to day. See how he gets through today, and chance he practices, but again, we'll see where he's at physically. Jordan Hicks, another one that's improving, but still day to day. See where he's at again after today and tomorrow with a couple of workouts. A new one, Carson has a little bit of back soreness, a little tightness, and so we're going to rest him today. Continue to evaluate him and just make sure he's good, but we'll have more information on all these guys later in the week. Is there anybody else?
Is Sidney Jones okay?
Sidney, he's another one day to day. Yeah.
When did this isn't the first time that Carson's had some back issues with practice or whatever? I mean, what's the problem?
Well, I mean, sometimes he just gets a little sore, a little tight, and so we're just gonna rest him today and evaluate him further.
Was there anything that happened in the Cowboys game, or is this?
Nothing game related. Just he's dealt with it, and so we're just going to continue to evaluate.
Is there a chance he misses this game, Doug?
Again, we're going to focus on today, get through today, and see where he's at the end of the day.
We've talked before about sometimes there being positive memories at a stadium and how that can kind of energize a player. Carson's obviously going back to the stadium where his season ended last year. Can there be that negative side of it too, where you have bad memories from a stadium?
I think a player that goes back to a place of the scene of the crime, I guess, there could probably be a little angst, maybe a little anxiety, but he's obviously we won this game last year as a team. All three phases were exceptional, and they really rallied around him last year at this time, and we ended up winning that football game. So it's might be a little bit of that, but I think there's more, as you mentioned, probably a lot more positive coming out of this game last year than anything else.
What do you remember about the scene in the locker room that night? It could have been a turning point for the worse for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bittersweet. Still hadn't really got the full report, on Carson at the time. Last year, guys were excited because we had just won the NFC East. And playoff spot and all that, so the hats were flying around, the T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. So, and then for me, you're excited for the team, but at the same time, you're thinking about the next week and how am I gonna keep the guys motivated and pushing forward. So, yeah, it was a little bittersweet.
What about the way Carson was playing in that game? I mean, he threw, I guess, the 4 touchdown passes. I mean, even the play he got hurt on, he was diving into the end zone and everything like that. Just kind of like how he was playing in that game overall.
Yeah, individually he was playing extremely well. I think collectively as an offense we did some nice things. I mean, Zach Ertz didn't play in the game, so we had Selleck and Trey Burton as our tight ends, and our running game was pretty good in that game if I remember right, and we made some plays in the passing game. So, and then defense. I mean, defense stepped up really the whole game, and then the big play at the end. To get the sack, fumble, touchdown, at the end to kind of seal the victory. I just remember that as a huge team win last year and all through. I mean, we had a punt blocked against us for a touchdown. There were all kinds of things going on in that game that we were able to overcome, and it's going to be the same again this year.
Blake, you placed 2 guys on IR yesterday. It's 12 now. Do you feel like you've been snake bitten a little bit by injuries this season?
It would seem that way. It's a lot of guys. I think 7 of them, are on defense. 8, I think Josh now makes 8, but as far as starters go, you look around and it feels that way. But I give it credit to the guys that are healthy right now, how they're fighting and battling through, and we are playing with some young guys, but they seem to be improving each week, and it is a tough task, but hey, if it was easy, I think anybody could do it and sign up for it, and and get it done. But this is a resilient group, and I'm proud of the guys for where they are and what they've accomplished so far.
With Wentz, there's been some games where he's been more aggressive, I guess, with his feet, and some where he's stayed more in the pocket. I wonder, is the back issues, can we link those two, where some games he's felt better than others as it pertains to the back?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably something that you'd ask him about, but I know he's been good. I mean, he's going into game. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of juice, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. The lanes don't open up. I mean, the way the pass rush is coming, and teams know that he's mobile. So, go back to when we had Michael Vick. Teams know how to rush guys that are mobile quarterbacks, and so you've seen some of that too, where it sort of shrinks the lanes just a little bit and it's kept him in the pocket more.
You talked last year about the benefit of staying out in LA. How come you don't do it this year?
Well, we played Seattle the week before, and then LA right on the heels of that. So that was just for us, it was kind of a no-brainer. For me, it's about these players. We have all the resources available to us right here in Philadelphia, and they're still around their families, their kids and things like that, and plus all the rehab and the sleep and everything that they can do it right here, and then when we travel, we're going to travel, and we'll try to maintain East Coast time when we even travel. We did it last year when we played the Chargers out there, and it was a success for us, and I just feel it's important that we try to keep the same consistency with everything we do, and this is part of it.
A follow-up on Corey and Josh Sweat. Are these long-term injuries that will keep them out for the offseason program, or do you expect them back by then?
Well, I think both of them. In Corey's case, it might limit him a little bit in OTAs. Again, without getting a full doctor's report on the long-term effects. I think it will probably hinder the start of OTAs probably in April, but again, we'll see. When we evaluate him at the end of the year and give him a time frame after that.
Is it ACL or is it?
It's his knee.
Doug, with Carson, when did he start complaining about symptoms? And are you guys sure he wasn't experiencing any back issues during the game?
We've monitored him, since he tore his knee, since he damaged his knee. So we've been on him and monitoring him and listen, every player is going to play with a little nagging injury from time to time. I mean, that's just the way it works in this business, and the quarterback's no exception, obviously. And so we've monitored it and stayed on top of it, and we've had great communication with him. So, yeah.
Your numbers in 12 personnel, first, second, third down.
Here we go.
Have been great. I mean, but they've been your best numbers.
Yeah, they have. Thank you.
So,
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry. I thought that was a compliment. It's rare that you compliment us. I mean, thank you for that.
I'm just wondering. I mean, we saw a little bit more of it in the second half of the game. It's just what have been the reasons why you wanted to use him? Why haven't you used it more?
Well, each week game plans are different, from what we see on film. And last week against the Cowboys, our 12 personnel, it just depends on how the defense wants to sub. If teams go nickel, 5 DBs, then there's a really good opportunity to stay in 12 personnel and run the football, and we've had some success doing that. If a team stays in their base defense, keeping their third linebacker on the field, we've also had some success with matchups, tight ends against backers, against teams like that, and we had success in the second half, last week. So a lot of it's just predicated on the defensive structure. Not every team subs the same way on defense. This team we're playing this week is a little different that way, so it can be a little bit of a balance one where they play a little bit more base defense to everything on first and second down. So, it's predicated on the structure of the defense that we're seeing that week. Yeah.
Just when you this one, John D. Filippo is now available. Is he somebody you consider bringing in here?
I was anticipating this question, but listen. What I'll say is John did a great job for me. He helped us win a world championship, and then he had an opportunity. I love my coaches. I confident in the guys we have. So at this time, no.
Have you talked to him?
Back to 12 personnel.
I'm not.
Did you ever foresee making 12 your primary personnel grouping?
Yeah.
Considering the tight end?
Yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, you think about where, I think with the how Dallas is blocked this season, how he's kind of emerged himself as a primary blocker for us, and Zach in space. I think, but again, it is predicated a little bit on the defense. It is a bigger body, obviously a tight end versus say a nickel DB or a safety. And yeah, I think you could consider that as a primary, personnel group. But at the same time, Alshon, Nelly, Golden, Jordan, these guys are also have been very productive for us too. So we got to keep that in mind as well. All right, thanks guys.
Carson, so